You might have already seen this video going around on the internet. Welcome to Mothership Hits the Grass! On a separate incident, a 50-year-old woman was attacked by a wild boar at Pasir Ris Park. This happened just a few weeks ago on November 17th. Following the incident, a survey was conducted by the government to find out how residents felt about wild animals in their estates and how they feel about coexisting with these animals. This includes wild boars, stray dogs, and wild chickens. We are here at Pasir Ris Park to find out what people think about it.
By being wild, I think they should not be in a inhabited area. They might, like in this case, injure somebody else.
They're not much of a danger unless provoked.
Well, I think it's beautiful if they can live naturally in this environment, and I think we would all be happy with that, wouldn't we?
Yeah, I agree, because it's good if they can stay around, but we don't want them to injure people.
I think for me it's alright, we just live with them.
Why do you think the wild boars actually approach us?
Mostly because food or they're just curious.
I think one of the main reasons is their inhabited area is being, threatened somehow or other with more and more developments in Singapore. And coupled with the fact that there may be people feeding them, that could be the reason why they are coming out.
Just like any animal, if you see them going past, it's okay, we mind our own business. But if you see them and you go near them, you feed them, try to take pictures with them, they get accustomed to humans. And because of that, they become more daring.
I'm not really sure if they can smell food or something.
I'm not sure either, but I guess maybe if they felt they were threatened in some way or there was lots of people around.
So recently there was actually a survey that was set out to find out what people think about stray dogs, wild chickens and wild boars, animals that are commonly seen in this estate. Okay, there's 3 options in this survey. One is to leave them alone in this estate. 2 is allow them to stay in Pasir Ris but control their population. And 3 is to relocate or remove them from Pasir Ris.
I would definitely agree with the first 2. Leaving them alone is good, but again, sometimes if they were to grow and they have more families, it could be a problem as well.
I'd leave them alone.
I leave them alone too.
I mean, it's their habitat and Singapore is not having enough land anymore, so
Yeah, we shouldn't be taking away their habitat from anywhere, and due to our extinction of previous animals also, I don't think we should be doing all of this because it's only one case out of many people in Singapore.
My thinking is it should be removed because ultimately Singapore is quite a small island, small space, where many people are, especially children, using the park. So it could be quite a so-called dangerous things for the wild animal to be around. Although they may not be aggressive, but who knows, things may change when they get angry, hungry.
What do you actually think about this survey and this initiative to ask people about what they think about wild animals?
Well, at first I was quite puzzled why you need a survey from the resident. What happened if the wild boar went to Tampines? Is he going to survey the Tampines resident again? So I suppose the authority here have to make a good decision, a best decision to the public.
Before the attack, these animals have been around, humans have been running around, and nothing happened. But an incident like this, I think, shouldn't change everything. Just let the animal be. Understand that they are created to hunt. All right. So I think with that understanding, I think it should be fine.
So one question people may have is why there are so many wild boar sightings recently. We speak to Kalai from Enquiries to find out more.
I think very often there is a misunderstanding. In this day and age, right, a lot of what we see comes from social media. So when certain things go viral, it gives a perception that there are a lot of these animals, but usually it isn't. So whatever we do, we need to do it from a scientific point of view, and there's no overpopulation of these animals as far as we know.
Why do people start seeing them more often nowadays?
Very often the problem is that we are clearing more land, and we are clearing it without putting enough thought into where the animals will go when we clear. That is one of the reasons where sometimes these animals have nowhere to go. They are sighted more outside the forested areas. The other problem is feeding. When people feed them, their behavior gets altered. Human food is definitely higher in sugar, more delicious and easier to get. So when they get used to this, they are going to seek for this. So that is why, when people are bringing food and these animals see that they want them. Yeah, that is why we get cases of monkeys snatching food from people, or like the Pulau Ubin case where the wild boar went for the food in the basket.
Do these animals cause harm?
These animals are not out to harm people. They're not going to chase you down and all that. A lot of times when incidences happen, it gets labeled as the animal is attacking people. But very often it's just a defensive thing. The animals are being defensive because they are either startled or you have gone too close to the animal and in the process someone gets hurt, which is very unfortunate. But I think if we can raise some more awareness about which animals can be sighted where and what to do, what not to do, we can actually prevent a lot of these happenings. Yeah. If you're in a situation where a boar approaches you, I would think just divert, take a detour. Do not approach the animal thinking it's friendly. You never know, at the end of the day we're dealing with wild animals, and just avoid contact with the animal and take a totally different direction. If you have a situation where the wild boar is charging at you, now that's a bit different story already. That means the animal has already been startled. For whatever reason, it saw you as a threat. The only thing you can consider is maybe running away from the animal, running in a zigzag manner. That might help. But if the animal is just walking towards you, don't run, don't panic, don't try to touch the animal. Just take a detour and go a different direction. It's the same thing if you're walking along the roadside and you see one wild boar, a group of wild boars, stop, turn around and then go around the animal. Cross the road if you have to.
The best way you can protect yourself is to keep a distance from the wild boars or wild animals and to not feed. So stay safe,